think I have taken much time. With these initial observations, I would like Mr. Jain to give his
Thank you, sir. I thought my name was at the end, so I will be the last speaker, but anyway, pleasant surprise. Honorable Chair, ladies and gentlemen.
I have some affection for the state where from you come.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, I had prepared a detailed PowerPoint presentation, but what has happened over last so many sessions, all my points have been covered. So if I show that presentation, it will be very repetitive. So I'll restrict myself to a few, sharing a few initiatives that Maharashtra has taken in the realm of RTI and making a few observations. I'll start with a snapshot of RTI in Maharashtra. I shared this information a few weeks ago in another conference in Delhi, but I think it will be appropriate to mention it here also. In Maharashtra, we have received 46 lakh RTI applications since the inception of the Act. And 96% of these applications have been disposed of either at the level of the PIOs or at the level of the First Appellate Authority. Now the implication is that, perhaps I look at it like this, that the system of PIOs and the system of First Appellate Authority is working reasonably well. Of course, another interpretation was given by Anjali yesterday that it is perhaps because people are not in a position to come to the Second Appellate Authority, and that is why it's kind of a number. But still, I think it's not too bad. Now, we have received in the Commission 2 lakh appeals since inception, and all but 25,000 appeals have been disposed of. Even this number is quite big, but the fact is that we had large number of vacancies till 2013, and after that, a drive has been taken to clear the earlier backlog. In fact, our SIC has given a target to each information commissioner or transparency commissioner, which I think is one of the takeaways from today's convention, to clear 400 cases per month. And if that standard is followed and really work is done accordingly, then by the end of next year, we would have wiped out all the backlog. One important thing which I like to share is that Maharashtra has got, of course, SIC and 7 other information commissioners. They had regional benches, and this is a kind of a good practice which is followed in Maharashtra. These information commissioners are headquartered in divisional places, scattered all over the state. Now this helps the RTI application to access the system of second appeal more easily and with less cost. In addition, what one of our colleagues who is here, Mr. Zada, who is SIC Pune, has recently started, he has started second appeals district-wise. And rather than calling the PIOs and the appellate authorities to Pune headquarter of the information bench, he hears them on the video conference. And what actually happens is that both PIOs and the applicants are called to respective collector offices where the NIC center is there, and on video conference the hearing is done and appeal is disposed of fairly expeditiously. So this is, I think, one practice which can easily be replicated all over the country, because this NIC center is available in all the collectorates. So with not much of new infrastructure, this can be achieved. Second issue is, which I'll highlight, is about the training. Now, the study of RAG has been discussed in detail yesterday, and if one reads that, one of the points they have come out is the poor training ratio. They are saying that only 45%, nationally 45% PIOs have been trained for RTI. But in Maharashtra, I must share that we have achieved better result. What happened in Maharashtra was that we had a law which predated the central RTI law. And under that law, an RTI center was set up in Pune way back in 2004 at the state ATA, which we call Yashata. Yashata stands for Yashwantrao Chavan Academy for Development Administration. And this center has since trained more than 93,000 PIOs in the First Appellate Authority. We have a total of 1,10,000 PIOs in the First Appellate Authority. So it's a good number, though of course it goes without saying that training is an ongoing process because people change, PIOs and First Appellate Authorities change. In addition to training the PIOs, what this center does is they have documented very good, best practices. They have compiled RTI rules. they have compiled case laws, which I think is a very important piece of compilation, because most of us grow up in the dark when it comes to latest case laws. In fact, there were many new case laws that were discussed yesterday, which personally even I was not aware so far. So this institution, this center is precisely doing that. They have also started a certificate course on RTI through distant learning. That was started in 2010, and this can be used both by PIOs as well as anybody from the civil societies. This Center for RTI has been declared as a national implementing agency by the DOPT, along with the Center for Good Governance in Hyderabad. And as part of that mandate, it has trained more than 1,800 state resource persons from 28 states. Now, my suggestion would be that such centers should be further strengthened with the support of DOPT or maybe any other funding agency, and their capacity should be enhanced with a view to give or to provide both technical as well as legal support to Information Commission, PIOs, and even the civil society. And I also suggest humbly that the CIC might like to consider a creation of a think tank at the national level, with which all these institutions could be networked. And the role of this think tank institution should be to do research in RTI, find out latest case laws, and then probably share that information with all other commissions and other stakeholders. The third point I will talk about is about the proactive disclosure. Now, we have discussed again and again that if proactive disclosure is effective, we can probably avoid 70% or 50% of the RTI applications. And more than that, I think what Honorable Prime Minister said yesterday, if we want to lay focus on product, then I think proactive disclosure is the starting point. So once the basic information about the tendering, etc. is available on the website, then probably activists can talk about the ultimate product, whether the bridge or the road constructed was of the real quality or otherwise. Now, in the realm of proactive disclosure, another initiative has been taken recently in Maharashtra. We had a meeting, all the commissioners went and met the Honorable Chief Minister, and he agreed, and then the orders were issued that at the district level, the district collectors have been made nodal officer for the purpose of proactive disclosure and also for monitoring the implementation of the RTI Act. Now, in fact, this is work in progress, detailing has to be done, but anyway, this decision has been taken. Now, we also have a system, nothing to directly do with the RTA, but a system of public redressal day in Maharashtra. It's called Lok Shahi Divas in Maharashtra, where on every first Monday of the month, the collectors receive petitions from people across, from different spheres, and then coordinates with different departments to resolve them. So the Chief Minister has ordered that on this particular day you review the functioning of RTA also, and also review proactive disclosure and report the matter directly to the State Information Commission. Now, we also suggest here that when it comes to proactive disclosure at the apex level, at the policy level, and at the cutting edge level has to be viewed differently. Though there are 17 parameters on which proactive disclosure is to be done under section 41B, but if you look at the policy level, at the secretary level, those 17 points will obviously be different. It will talk about more policy, programs, budget, and so on. Whereas at the cutting edge level, at Patwari level, Gram Sevak level, or let us say at the primary health center level, the focus would be more local. How much medicines were received and how many medicines were distributed, the amount or maybe the number of OPDs, etc. So what we recommend here is that there should be a nodal officer in the department also, or maybe at the central government level, it could be at the ministry level, who should decide the content and mode of proactive disclosure. The content, as I said, will be different at the top level, maybe a little different at the HOD level, and will be quite different at the branch or at the field level. And once this is understood, then they should give very comprehensive instructions to the officers down the line as to what kind of disclosure is to be achieved. In fact, I must say that Mr. Osmani is not here. Right, I told you. In fact, what we have proposed is that under the RTI rules, the issue of proactive, and the proposed new RTI rule that we are working on in Maharashtra, we have included the concept of proactive disclosure also, and the concept of nodal officer. So that, as and when the new rules come into existence, it will be mandatory for each department to have such a nodal officer. Now, one more issue I like to highlight, and rather two more issues, is one is the uniformity required in the implementation of the RTI Act. This issue also has been discussed. We have central government RTI rules, we have state government RTI rules, we have different for high courts and different for legislature. But at least to the extent of central government and state government, if we have common rules, then it will be very easy for people to access information. For example, in Mumbai, I am in charge of Greater Mumbai. There are people who come, if you want to seek information about railways, then different rules. If they want to seek information about the state police, rules are totally different. So we have to have uniformity. And what is suggested here is that if you could have model RTI rules, then I think it will be really very useful. In the last conference held in August in the CIC's office, it was discussed that UP has come out with a very comprehensive set of draft rules. After that conference, we in Maharashtra sat and we considered those rules, and we have gone little beyond that. In fact, we have slightly refined that draft. Now, my humble suggestion to DOPT is not to hurry with the RTI rules which they have prepared and ask the state to adopt it as it is, but kindly consider the concept of model rules. And if that is acceptable, then probably a small meeting or a brainstorming session could be held somewhere in Delhi or wherever, where all such rules could be considered and a model, if not ideal, model rules could be evolved. And then those rules should then be probably first adopted by the Government of India, DOPT, and then they can ask the states to do the needful. Of course, the issue of RTI rules of the courts is an area of very major concern, but I think that should be separately discussed, perhaps if possible, in the presence of Honorable Chief Justice of India. Now, the last point which I like to share with you is about the RTI outreach. Now, the study of RAG again indicates that there is a very poor coverage of RTI from the rural areas, some 14% or 15% applications. Now, one of the reasons is the distance. People are not able to access the RTI outlets, if I may say so. The PAOs are quite distant and so on. And now, one of the suggestions which I am making over here, and this is after discussion with my state IT secretary and also with Mr. J.S. Deepak yesterday, IT Secretary Government of India, is that we should use the infrastructure of common service centers which have already been set up in the country under the National E-Governance Plan. Now, such centers are available at each district level and in each taluka, at least. In Maharashtra, they are also available in every Gram Panchayat. We call, under the local program, we call them Sangram centers or Setu centers. Setu is a bridge between the citizens and the government machinery. Now, most of these centers are networked with the state-wide area network. What these centers are doing, of course, you all know, is that they provide different type of web-enabled services in the form of providing application form, certificates, and utility payments, etc. What the state government has done is to fix a particular fee that they can charge to the citizens for providing these services. If RTI could also be included in the services that they provide, I think the citizens will be able to access or to make online applications of RTI. They can have a look at the websites of different departments through these outlets. And these outlets can also be very useful in helping the citizens, rural people who are not very literate in many cases, to write official RTI application also. Now, this will also indirectly help public-private partnership. These centers are run by private people who are trained in IT. So it will be a kind of a public-private partnership also, and it creates employment as well. So these are the points which I thought I will highlight here. I thank the chairman and the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.